So now there's been obviously some defense about the fact that this is also a customary issue, like,
Yes.
and so under custom we've had a lot of virginity testing, and that you shouldn't
Sure.
you shouldn't be hacked or upset in any way.
Yes.
So where does that line happen? Between, there's a lot of patriarchy in a lot
Yes.
of our cultures. Where does that line stop and start? Now, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this.
Yeah, I was just gonna the customary thing. I think absolutely. Let's follow our customs. I'm very happy to be traditional and follow customs and stay in my lane. But you cannot merge something like your livelihood and your education and your future with customs. Like, if a woman wants to be tested as a virgin, which is what I assume happens at these virginity testing ceremonies, that's what she wants to do with her body. If a woman wants to get educated, she should be given that right, whether she has a child, whether she's not a virgin, whether her hymen is intact. It's got nothing. Like, the two cannot be.
I also think, sorry now, just to pick up on what you just said, also, you used a very, very important word there also. You said want, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this particular situation, you immediately taking away the girl's right to want to or to not want to, because now she's forced to, because we want to study further. And again, sorry, Noxie, there was also another quote in the article where she said, no, but these young girls need to have their virginity tested also so that they can maintain this purity and so that they don't fall HIV positive. And again, that's so dangerous. It applies, it goes beyond women, so now we're also going to impact people who are HIV positive also. These stigmas that are fed and are allowed to live, it's not okay.
Yeah. I think also it's important to note that when in culture, we change with time.
Yes.
And I think it's important that we also change our culture with the times that we're in now. So it's incorrect to say, oh, but our culture says we must do X, Y, Z, so women should be doing X, Y, Z. That's not the case anymore. Nowadays, we're more liberal, we're more aware of our own bodies and our own rights, and we should then adapt for that.
Definitely.
And we're just louder about it now.
Yes.
Okay? It's just, we're gonna be, like, a woman is not just a vessel, okay, to carry a human.
Yes.
We're more than that.
Exactly.
Not all of us are going to carry children. Not all of us have heteronormative lives and ways of thinking, and we don't all have sex with men.
Exactly.
So just, it's things that are not your business, just stay out of them. And if a woman wants to do something, let her, because we've got the capacity to make decisions.
But here's the thing, like, no, sorry, I just really think, the idea that, we shouldn't be involved in other people's business. I think this is the one thing that everyone needs to take note of, that this is a huge example of a disruption, and the mere fact that, like, everyone needs to be aware that a woman's body cannot be dictated by people just out of nowhere. I think it really is something that I think we can't just shy away to just being, well, don't get involved in other people's businesses. This is the one time that we need to learn through this example that you don't get to comment on how I use my body and how my right to education gets involved. I think that's where the problem is, and how these two shouldn't be able to link,
at all. And also because now it reads as a threat. That's what it is. It's a threat. And also because a lot of those quotes sound threatening. Okay, so if you are not willing to be tested in such and such a way on this particular date, then you're not, there's not a chance for you. You're not going to get that bursary. And I'm sorry to go back again to rape victims, but it's just because I just don't understand it, because one has to wonder, for a young girl who's just been raped, and next week you're going to have your virginity tested in front of all of these people, and it's going to be public because you publicly received this bursary. What does that do?
There's a tweet here from Malie Mash who says, what if you were sexually molested as a child and there was no medical records for some reason, and then you don't qualify? And I did hear that the municipality doesn't check how it is that they make sure that you're a virgin, which means that, again, there are people being left out and being mistreated under the guise of customary law. So, I mean, there's a huge contention here between custom and
Yes.
your constitutional rights as a person.
Undoubtedly.
So I think that's where I think the biggest issue for me personally is in this whole situation. And perhaps it's maybe something that needs to be revisited.
Definitely. And also, you know, women's bodies are all different. I mean, some girls, the hymen, which is what they are specifically testing for, you know, some girls do horse riding, others do ballet, others aren't born with a hymen. Like, it's open. It's open-ended. And if we're I'd also just like to talk a little bit about, you know, education policies in themselves. I mean, instead of us looking to award young girls bursaries because they're virgins, shouldn't we be in schools making sure that our sex, you know, curriculum is tight? Our making sure that women actually know what happens in their bodies. Isn't that what we should be focusing on?
Absolutely. I mean, if there are any other thoughts on that, you know, I really think that's the fundamental issue, that the health department and the education department need to collaborate in some way.
And if we're saying that what we're looking to do is to maintain young girls' purity and to make sure that HIV, I don't know, it doesn't spread more, whatever, then surely in schools, shouldn't we be teaching more? Isn't that the solution as opposed to dictating?
Exactly. And I think it's also necessary to note that if we're a free and equal society, as we'd like to say, we then, when we start educating women about sex, we should also educate men about sex and not have it be a patriarchal thing where it's like, well, sex is great for you as a boy, but as a girl, keep it together, honey. No,
you must stay pure.
Yeah. If someone must be pure, we must all be pure.
Exactly.
Let that be it.
And even so, we question what pure means.
Exactly. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I think this is a very interesting and rigorous conversation that we need to have. So if you want to get involved in the conversation, be sure to leave some comments in the comments section, and we'll see you in the next segment of Four Brown Girls.